Welcome to Canada, welcome to Quebec for the team sprint in freestyle on this, a momentous occasion for this part of Canada, or indeed the northeast of North America, because this is the first time that a FIS team sprint competition has ever been held, or indeed any World Cup has ever been held in this French-Canadian city, which is only in size second to Montreal. Alongside myself, David Goldstrom, is Mike Dixon on what is a pretty nice afternoon.
It's surprisingly warm, David. They did threaten temperatures maybe down as low as -17, but it's a lovely warm -1, decent humidity as well, not too bad.
We're going to take a break, and when we come back, Mike will tell you all about the course and the journey ahead. Well, welcome once again to a pretty nice afternoon in Quebec. The first World Cup that's ever been held here, the first team sprint of the season. They've brought in 20,000 cubic meters of snow for this team sprint. The course of 1,705 meters per lap, located right in front of the Quebec National Assembly. And as you can see, everywhere else, not a lot of snow. Alongside myself, Mike Dixon, and the girls and boys getting ready for our two finals. First the ladies' final, then the men's final. Mike, your view of the course?
The course, I think we can safely say, David, is one of the most curvy, twisty courses we've seen in sprint racing, and therefore it's the intelligent athlete that can take the right line, place himself at the right time in the right place. We don't often see 8 curves over just one lap of 800 meters.
Now, the other factor here is that each of the athletes, it's 2 persons per team, skis 2 legs 3 times.
That's correct. So athlete 1 will ski 2 legs. He'll hand over to athlete 2, who then skis 2 legs. They do that each 3 times.
Well, here's a little reprise from earlier on, and here you can see the type of course that Mike was alluding to. Obviously, fairly straight off the start to establish a position, but here you can see the first of the semi-finals, 21.53, and it was the first 2 that went through by right. Second semi-final. And already you can see the course actually sort of softening up. This was 21.45. And again, you can see just that little bit faster. And the lucky losers mostly coming out of the second race.
That's right. 6 lucky losers are allowed to go through into the finals. So the time, and they've created this so that it doesn't become a tactical race. It's full out from the gun.
Canada, of course, they are the world team sprint champions, and the first of the semi-finals sees them victorious. Of course, in the world championships, as far as the men were concerned, you had a classic race. Second semi-final for the men, and
well, there's the tactical issues you have with so many tight corners, and you got 2 meter skis on. It makes for exciting and very difficult racing.
Russians, who've made a strong start to the World Cup season and clearly already have Sochi well in mind, but as they came to cross the line there, that white suit, so traditional from Sweden, underline 19.62. Remember, the same course, and remember that women were doing it in 21.45, 21.53, so it gives you an idea of how much more power the guys have got. But nonetheless, we're almost set now for the 2 finals, and as you can see here, not a chilly day.
It's not at all. Very, very low humidity, which is surprising when we're so close to the inlet here, the inlet of sea. And what's happening on the course, David, because it's machine-made snow, the granules are breaking up, making it very soft and mushy. Profile kind of exaggerates what the reality is. It is an up-and-down course, but without a doubt, it's all these curves, cornerings, which make it so difficult, technically difficult.
So you can see the long run into home, which is the one chance you've got if you do lose position. But as you say, Mike, it is pretty tactical. And one man, of course, who's especially enjoying the occasion. Alex Harvey, you will see in the men's final. This is his hometown. He said, you know, it's great to be home. I'm so excited to be here. And the 24-year-old, well, we'll be seeing him in the men's action. But here we have the United States there, 13. And that is Jessica Diggins and her partner Keegan Randall, and the Americans have made a really strong start to the women's cross-country season. Marit Bjørgen individually making the headlines, but collectively I think the American women have done extremely well, and they've thrown a marker down to the rest of the world. Big
improvement, I think, without a doubt, the most improved team from what we've seen in the test out so far.
So, Jess Diggins and Keegan Randall. Keegan Randall, runner-up in Kusamo during the past weekend. The yellow suits of Slovenia there in your picture. And that was Katja Wisner, partnered by Fabian, Vesna Fabian. And we're away for the first team sprint of the season. This is the final of the women's competition in the heart of Quebec. And on the left there, the Norwegians wearing the red bib, and clearly one of the major teams to beat here. Norway won, Celine Brunli leading off on their leg and just sorting themselves up on this 1,705-meter course, and instantly going into the lead, Mona-Liisa Malvaleito for Finland.
Well, playing safe there, Malvaleito. She doesn't want to get involved in any elbowing or any pushing. In fact, well, you're not allowed to elbow, accidentally maybe, but she wants space, safety around her. It's a tough job getting past. Well, the Russia coming through on the outside. That's the Russia's first team, Dotsenko.
Indeed, but following in second place there, it's Norway 2, Kari Vikhagen-Jagnes on the opening leg there, and just beginning to find their positions now. Slovenia, that's team 12, Slovenia 1, Wisner will be handing over to Fabian. Remember, they're doing 2 rotations here, and I'm not sure whether such a curvy course is going to be the most favourite for these athletes, because you like to get some oomph into the course.
Well, you do, and Malvaleito at the front has really slowed this thing down. She wanted the front, and maybe for this reason, to give herself some space, some breathing space. We know it's going to heat up later.
So 15 on the right of your screen there, that's Norway 2, 1 Finland. Then you can see the sort of bright yellow of Slovenia. Norway's 1 team wearing the Viksman red bib, 13 coming through there. United States 1, Jessica Diggins just moving into 3rd place there. Once upon a time it was the Canadian women who were making the headlines. Now it's the Canadian men, and it's the American women who are the top racers in North America in this particular sport at the moment. 7, Sweden coming through, and that is Magdalena Pajala.
Good move, but of course Norway's having none of it. Jagnes going to the front now. We missed the, well, we saw it, the little jump for the first time. They're putting a little jump. When I read about it, David, I thought it would be like a 4 or 5 meter before you landed, but it's just a little drop off, maybe about 40 centimeters high.
Really interesting, the tactics here before they, you know, get to the first handover, but they're really bunched. And the Russians at the moment struggling. They've been pushed to the outside and not really making any headway. I'm sure, having watched the earlier races here, being up front at the heart of the action is really going to serve you well. Coming through a lot of traffic late is going to be difficult.
Very difficult. Safety up front, but it has a long way to run. 2 laps for each of these athletes, then handing over to their teammates who will give us 2 laps.
Yeah, but look at the Norwegian up front there. She's got really great rhythm, good contact with the snow, accelerating, pushes down over the little pedestrian bridge. Oh, and someone's down.
I think that's Russia. I'm not sure whether it's the first or the second team. It is the second team.
So that would have been Shapovalova, of all people, who's gone down on the opening leg, and that really does set them back.
Here's the little jump, well, the drop. We're not covering many meters.
It's hardly the Pardubice horse race, is it?
But look at the snow, David. It's I know they've been round this lap a few times, and they had 1,000 club skiers out as well going round this track, so it's well mushed up, well soft.
So into the exchange zone here. Have to have physical contact, and getting out pretty quickly. Left of picture there, that's Norway too, and again Finland up there to the fore, and America moving fast. The Americans with two teams in there.
Dickens just came through at the end to make sure that her teammate Randall was well served.
Anna Kilonen in the blue there for Finland is the leader of this pack, and Finland determined to stay out of trouble. You can see how tricky this is. It's not very wide. I mean, in some places it's barely the minimum 8 meters.
It is a little tight, and we're going to see, I'm quite sure we're going to see some more falls. Well done to Russia. They're back in the action, both of their teams, after the fall, so you can get back up at this stage in the race. Fall in the last lap, you haven't a chance.
So 14 now in front. That's Russia 1. Anastasia Dotsenko ran the first lap. Natalia Korosteleva, who's shown good form in the early part of the season, actually now setting the pace for Russia.
Look at this, is stretching them out, David. This is a major turn of pace here. Is this a tactic from the Russians? It's working so far.
She comes from pretty near Rybinsk, which is a pretty regular stop on the World Cup Tour, Korosteleva, and a seasoned campaigner. And really having a go at this, really trying to dismiss the team's 13 up there. That is Jess Diggins in about third place, 2 on the right. Now, we haven't seen much of the German team. Hannah Kolb handed over to Denise Herremann, who is in the pink hat, or the pink headband with pigtails, just out of your picture to the right.
13, Kickin Randall's just playing a safe game at the moment, although she's in big traffic there. We can see her in the left column. She's in third place.
Mike, she didn't do so well in the individual sprint, but she was impressive in the 10-kilometer race in Kuusamo.
Oh, very strong. In fact, she was surprised to make the team this year. She's had her little setbacks, but then she made the team, and she's been flying. Absolutely brilliant start to her season.
And Sweden really knocked back at the moment. That's a big surprise. They had a prominent position earlier, but Sumska, to be fair to her, she's the least experienced of these athletes, and she's off the back now. So Russia lead Finland at the moment.
This turn of pace really has sorted the teams out, stretched them out into single file, and it's relentless. It doesn't look as if the pace is horrific, but it is. Damaging the rest of the pack, and Sweden at the back just getting detached.
Semi-final saw the United States and Norway by right going through, and it's United States, Norway, who are doubly represented in here. So are the United States, and that's a great shot. There's exactly what Mike was referring to, this twisty turn. It's a bit like Hampton Court Maze in there.
I can't think of any other course where we've seen so many corners like this, and of course we haven't seen the little jump before, little drop off. I'd love to see it at speed where we can make 7, 8, 10 meters.
So still it's Russia who are up there and leading Finland. Norway's #1 team, that's Maiken Kaspersen-Fallo, who's an experienced sprinter, and they're getting ready for the next takeover. So remember, each athlete skis 2 laps 3 times, so they've done 2 laps each so far. So this is the opening athlete for each team, now out on lap 2. And, well, it's caught Norway too, and it also caught one of the Americans there. And the Norway too, that was Karen Vighagen Gneitnes, who was really caught by that jump. And out front now, it's Norway 1. This is Celine Brunli on her third lap. They each do 2. And leading Malvaleto of Finland, Dotsenko of Russia, then the Slovenian there, that's Katja Visnar in the yellow, made famous by Petra Maric, 13 right behind for the United States, that's Jess Diggins.
I think it was Ida Sargent, America's second team, that landed just at the top of the little jump, and she's detached now, so it really has set her back. And the Norwegian, 2 of the fallers, you just cannot afford now to fall.
Brunli, though, they're getting a little stretched out here, more in Indian file now, and Brunli setting a really good rhythm. Interesting there, Jess Diggins has gone really wide, or she had gone really wide. I don't know if she got into trouble out of our eye shot there, but really strange because she's really lost position there. And Team 2 that's come through there, Germany, Hannah Kolb for Germany, also in a dark blackish outfit for Germany.
David, skiing in this soft granular snow, it's like running in like deep sand. It absorbs so much energy, and you need to be a very strong athlete. You have to push your edges in deeper, and it's difficult to balance on these granules.
Mike, coming round to that jump, which is, you know, as we said, it's not exactly, you know, Hadrian's Wall they're jumping, but, you know, preparing for that, how do you take it?
Well, you've just to let your skis go over it. You haven't to pre-jump it, you haven't to preempt it, you just slide over it.
You need to have that upper body over the knees, though, to do it. You can't be back on your heels.
You can't be back on your heels, you would fall back, and I think that's where some of the athletes were trying to prepare. The America's second team, Norway's second team, I think they were trying to preempt it.
It's almost like trying to pre-jump it, and it doesn't really work on that. So here we go, this is the second athlete now, out on their, effectively, third and fourth laps.
It is. Now, last time these athletes went, the pace was electric compared to athlete number 1, so this is athlete number 2.
Yeah, and it was Dotsenko who wears bib number 14, who actually was the one who set all the pace. But I'm having a look at this. 1, 2. So, oh, look what?
Oh, not good.
Not good.
Now you get a written warning if you are seen to be pushing deliberately, and I'm quite sure I saw some pushing there.
Denise Hederman for Germany out there being chased by the Finn, the Slovenian and the Norwegian, and Sweden coming back into this. They've been like a roller coaster, the Swedes, but this is Lynn Sumskag trying in the white outfit there, trying to get into this, but this is a pretty good move here by Germany, by Denise Herman. And leading out on the Finn, it's Anna Kilonen.
Well, from 10, David, it's down to 7, and Russia, I think it's Russia's second team detached now.
And these are the women who are going to ski the anchor leg, because they'll be doing their 5th and 6th legs. Last of all, inside the city walls here. Nicely done by Denise there. Beautifully balanced, kept the skis absolutely straight.
Very neat indeed, and as this relentless lapping is coming on, your legs are getting more tired. We're seeing them being a little more tentative leading into that jump.
Yeah, and Vesna Fabian for Slovenia working in the lemon there, in the lemon suit, race suit, working really hard to stay with the pace. And of course, if she's the anchor woman, how much energy she's going to have left. What I really like about Denise, upright, good rhythm, getting good power through the skis there, good contact, and I think she's as good as anybody, if not better than most.
Looking strong. It's Russia 1, David, that's been detached. It's Dotsenko.
There's Jessica Diggins on the, now back into 3rd place. Had a wayward course a little earlier, but now much more settled in 3rd place. Kilonen in 2nd spot for Finland. She's quite a tall athlete, long levers.
She has very long. Look at this, Russia going wide. That's 17. Russia 2.
Yep.
Yes, it's Randall, of course, who's in 3rd place.
Yeah, Randall. Yeah, I keep, apologies for that. I keep thinking Jessica Diggins is doing all the work, but of course it is Randall now, who, as you rightly say, is in 3rd place, but still Denise Herman.
And Korosteleva's trying so hard to get back into this group, David, before the handover, just to give Dotsenko a chance, and Dotsenko surely will try and close this gap quickly.
Interesting to see the acceleration in here. You can see now it really is Indian file.
It's a long time from being over.
This is hurting now. You can see the cornering isn't as good. The preparation for this little drop-off is a little more careful.
Randall's positioning herself now, just moving up on the right of your picture as you look at her now.
Randall and Diggins, for me, are looking good, and they always throw in a little sprint here to make sure they're up front on the handovers to make it easier on themselves.
So these are the first athletes doing their 5th and 6th legs, and then there's 2 more to go. Just worth remembering a little bit of history, although they're not here. Ida Ingsmar-Dotter and Charlotte Kalla for Sweden, they were the world champions in Oslo 2 years ago. That was in classic style from Saarinen and Laitenmäki, and Faller and Jakobsen were the bronze medalists. And if you go back to the last freestyle championship, it was Evi Sakenbacka and Claudia Neustadt who won that for Germany, from Kalla and Haag from Sweden, from Artemova and Korosteleva from Russia, taking the bronze medal in Vancouver. So up front, not for the first time, and very confident to ski there, Mona Lisa Malvaleto. And this will be really important. Who's going to make a move on the second lap here to try and give their partner a bit of an edge?
I expected to see a turbocharged attack, but it's not happening yet. Russia's first team, it's Dotsenko just beginning to make contact. That's them putting them back in the race for Korosteleva on the last leg. It slowed down a little bit now, though. Marvaleto's taking a little easier. Surprising.
Now that is Jess Diggins going across in second place. And right behind it's Germany. Hannah Kolb on the left of your picture there. The black race suit with the yellow or orange leggings, that's Germany. The all black is America. And now Norway, the red bid holders. And Celine Brunli takes the Wiesmann points leaders into first place now, and now begins to up it now. She really has put a little bit of pace here. You can see the shorter, sharper, much more aggressive skiing.
I love her skiing. Her technique is so efficient. There's no wasted energy whatsoever. Good angulation as usual from the ankle to the knee, keeping the hips forward.
And to me, you know, we've seen her developing over the last 2 or 3 years, but she looks a more powerful athlete this season.
Oh, she does, and there's a fall. That's I think that's Sweden's first team.
Yeah, that's Pajala down. And so Norway leading at the moment from Finland, and then Germany in 3rd place. Oh, no, sorry, America 3rd, Germany 4th. But Celine has sorted them out here now. Look at this, 1.5 meters over Finland. And you can see that Jessica Diggins having to really sprint to stay with that. And the pace is on now. Denise Hermann, the German Hannah Kolb in 4th place. And there goes Jess Diggins round to chase Celine Brunli. Finland, Malvaleto back into 3rd place and lost her rhythm on that turn.
She did, and Diggins is, I was going to say, digging deep to stick in behind a Norwegian. She needs to hand over to Randall.
Real clarity in Celine Bruneli's mind about the tactics that she, her teammate and her coach, takes that wide. Good angle there, because really could let the skis run out. Takes that nicely. Jess on the left, Celine on the right. Remember, this isn't the finish, this is the last handover.
This so important last handover. Russia's second team coming wide. That's
and look at this for Diggins, really showing this American form, and about to hand over to Keegan Randall, who's got, what, 3,500 metres thereabouts to go.
Is Randall going to try and take this from, what, 840 metres out? I doubt it.
Well, it is America, and then Norway, and then after that, it's Finland and Germany. The 1, 2, 3, 4. Russia are in 5th and 6th positions, but they've got work to do to get back here, because this is power skiing now, and Randall is going to make this hurt. You can just see there, really putting this in now, tight line to this corner.
Slight disadvantage, I think, at this stage, being at the front, but is she just going to go to try and break everybody else?
Well, it's Keegan Randall versus Maiken Kaspersen Faller. Again, another Norwegian athlete who's really grown into the sprinting game. And then for Finland, Anna Kilonen, the tall figure for Germany. It's Denise Herrmann on this last leg, and they've broken away from the two Russians. That's Nikolaeva, Russia 2, and Russia number 1, that's Korostoleva.
Once that gap is there, it's difficult to get this back unless the Russian girls are going to work together. That might be their only chance of closing this lead group down.
And it's a length, a ski length, a couple of meters to Kiken Randall. Then right behind Falla for Norway. And the Slovenians are out of this, the Swedes are out of this. And the Russians have got a bit of contact here. If somebody messes up, just might open the door for them. But they've had to use a lot of energy to make contact. And coming up there, Finland, Kalonen trying to get through as well. Denise Herrmann on the right of picture.
That's a brave attack there to take it so wide, but she wants space to try and get through the traffic, but there's a lot of energy going wide.
There's a lot of energy in Kiken Randall. There's a lot of desire. It's she who wants it most here, and Kiken Randall certainly wants this for America. Falla stalking there. Kalonen in 3rd, Herrmann in 4th. Russia in 5th place there.
In such a twisty course, the best line is obviously to lead it, because you can choose your best race line, the rest will follow, and it's more energy to go round now. Kiken Randall. Brave though to lead this thing from the changeover.
But remember, there's quite a long straightaway to get to the finish now, and Falla, they're building up, they're gathering at the moment. The Russian who's at the back there, that is just trying to have a look.
It's Korostoleva, actually.
Korostoleva, yeah.
Russia's second team ahead of the Russian first team.
Kiken Randall gathering herself now. Falla, which way she's going to do. She's got to wait now. There's no point in trying to be heroic at this particular moment.
Exactly as you said it. Falla's just tucked neatly in the drafting position, trying to let Randall do more of the work, ready for her attack.
Here we go, over the last jump. Herrmann on the right there, trying to come for Germany. Kiken Randall, and now Falla trying to split between the two. Kelowna, I don't think, has got much more to give. Kiken Randall on the left. Germany's Denise Herrmann coming up now, closing the door on Falla a little bit now as they come head on to you in Quebec City. The first team sprint. It's America in the center, Norway to the left, Germany to the right. Kiken Randall, who had the lead, taking over, still going, and Kiken Randall into the last 100 meters. The black-suited American has actually got there and taken the victory. Denise Herrmann 2nd, and then Norway's Falla in 3rd place, Russia 4th. And, well, Jessica Diggins set the tone when she came into the handover. She was the one who opened up the gap and said, there you are, Kiken, now it's all down to you.
Yes, that is so right, and what a way to work as a team. Randall, I thought for a moment, it's so brave to go to the front. Not always the best advantage, but she was relentless. As soon as the attacks came, she answered immediately and closed the door. Gave no hope to Denise Herrmann.
Big confidence though to do that, Mike. I mean, you must know how your body's feeling, how your legs are.
You've got to be in exceptional form, and the confidence must be brutally strong to do that. There's Russia going down. I think that's Dotsenko.
Yeah, and at that point, you see the Americans way back. But it was Jess Diggins on the last of her laps who went.
And
that was 18.
That's American second team.
Yeah, that was Holly Brooks, I think, going down there. But the first team have really acquitted themselves. And you could just see that's Sweden going down, and Pajala that was.
That was them out of it from that moment onwards, with, 4 laps to go. Diggins on the left. Wouldn't you want her in your team? She just does not give up, never gives in.
Well, of course, when you get a squad like this and they're all improving and they're all pushing each other, this is what can happen. And there now, it's exciting to have a North American women's team of this quality. And Kiken Randall and her partner will be really delighted. Jess Diggins. So the United States take the women's final, and every prospect that this could be a North American double, because Canada are well favoured for the men's final, which is not far away. So Kiken, supported by a well-known sandwich company. Not my favourite, I have to say, but gets energy there. Confirmation of the result, 21:49. That's a pretty good time when you consider all the racing they've done. Germany, Denise Herrmann, all credit to her. Faller for Norway, bringing them home in third place. So the men's team sprint final to come. And hopefully we'll get a few words which, if they come from Keegan Randall, are going to be effervescent, I would think.
That was a great team effort. They worked together. I like the way they both put in a little sprint to hand over to their teammate with clear space around them, so there's no risk of getting tripped up on the changeover.
Well, as you can see, decent crowd. Actually, it wouldn't take many to make this look busy. So twisty and tight is the course here. But it's... here they are.
Congratulations to USA on today's victory. First ever World Cup team sprint podium. Or sorry, I should say win. How does that feel?
Jess on the left, Keegan on the right.
That's all I can say.
Feels great. You know, we don't get a chance to race in front of our fans very often, so you guys were wonderful out there today, and it's a pleasure to race for you.
The Wax Techs nailed it. They always do. And I mean, my parents and family and friends are here, and my teammates, and same with Keegan. This is amazing to see. We never get to show off in front of mom and dad.
Well, congratulations from everybody here.
Thank you very much.
Really good point, Mike. You know, this sort of sport doesn't get big headlines in North America, let alone in the United States. So success like this, that's an important landmark for them. We'll be back with the men's final after this. Well, the men's final to come. The boys have just got underway, so here's a quick reminder. Canada #1, Devon Kershaw, Alex Harvey, they're the team to beat. They are, of course, the world champions in classic style, and this, a few moments ago, was the way they got away. Devon Kershaw, centre of your picture, with that big Canadian maple leaf, and, of course, Alex Harvey, this is his hometown. He runs the anchor leg. So this is how they got away a few moments ago. We'll go to the live action very shortly, and you can see team #1 there. Team number 15, that's Sweden, Theodor Pedersen on the left of your picture. Team 14, now that is the Russian #1 team with Nikita Krukov, the man who made the headlines in Kusamo, Mike, in the sprint, who's leading the way, and he's a big, confident guy, Krukov.
He is, and for him to take the sprint, and it was down to the last 20 metres, to double pole or to outsprint Northug in the home straight is exceptional.
We're now live, and you've got the red bib of Norway. Now that's Anders Glørsen, who is partnered today by Erik Bransdal, and it's Glørsen taking it out here on the front for Norway. And these guys, well, they were sort of 19 minutes and 15 seconds-ish compared to the win. But a couple of, well, what are we saying? 22, about 2.5 minutes quicker than the women over this circuit. Exactly the same course.
It is, and I don't think this is going to be tactical, David. It's going to be pretty relentless to break down. Only the strongest will survive to the end, much as we saw with the women. Just 4 teams left there out of 10 towards the finish line.
I think remember again, it's exactly the same. Each athlete in each team skis 6 laps. They do 2, 2 and 2. And on this first rotation, they're finding their rhythm, they're breathing, they're skiing, they're just setting themselves in. You can see Devon Kershaw in 3rd place there, just hunting.
It's pretty fast. It's looking relaxed, and that's because of the wonderfully efficient technique up front. And of course, that's Norway 1.
Sweden 15, that is their Swedish #1 team, Pedersen in the all-white, just tucking in about third place. Kershaw going with him, equal third, and a little burst of power in there as they come through, and they've already blitzed 2 laps. So now it's the handover men.
That was so fast, and it made it look so easy. So this is going to be fast from the changeover. They'll be battling to get as far into the lineup as they can.
Eric Bransdal it is who's on his way, and of course skiing for Canada, it's Alex Harvey from the Club Nordique Mont-Saint-Anne, and 20,000 cubic meters of snow have been laid here. Depth is probably about 30 centimeters. You need at least that. 50 would be ideal, but as you say, this course has already taken, Mike, a lot of punishment.
It's taken a lot of punishment. Yes, 1,000 young athletes from Canada allowed to come here and get the same feel. I love the way the Canadians are making the most of all these stars over at home to let the juniors see how it goes, how the best do it.
So, is this going to be a North American afternoon here? There's Alex Harvey in third place, of course, son of the famous Pierre Harvey. I mean, he really put Nordic cross-country skiing on the map in Canada, didn't he?
He did. He was a great guy and a great athlete.
Is still,
of course he is. Of course he is. And yes, he did a winter and then a summer Olympics. He did the Summer Olympics in cycling, the winter, and sadly didn't get the medal, but shortly after he won the 50-kilometer World Cup in Oslo.
Yeah, the famous Holmenkollen. Some say if you win that and you win nothing else, you've already put your mark down in history. And here you can see, this is really interesting here, Eric Bransdal just steadying things, I think, a little up front.
And Jon Christian Dahl, there we can see him in 5th position, the red suit way over to the right. He had a really disappointing home straight up in Kusamo. He was so disappointed. I think he wants revenge today. And there he is, going wide. The pace is a lot slower on this lap, David, without a doubt.
Len Valias is the other Canadian who's right at the back of the field. He's partnered by Jesse Cockney, and though he's just stuck out the back there, but again it's Russia now who have this drive on here. And this is Team 14. Krukov started off. This is Petukov who's now leading round here.
One thing I noticed in Kusamo about Petukov, he used to have a lot of muscle last year. He's put more on this year. He's got a chest that I haven't seen anything like it. It's all muscle. His back is so wide for this double poling action, making it look easy. This is a good pace. Look how Petukov is stretching them out. The 2 Canadian teams going wide there. Interesting.
Just a reminder of history of not so long ago in Vancouver. The team freestyle sprint was won by Øystein Pedersen and Petter Northug, who had such a good start to the season in Kusama, but not racing here. And it was Germany, Tim Schanke and Axel Teichmann, who took the silver, and Morilov and Petukov, who's in this race, who took the bronze in Vancouver.
Look at Alex Harvey going to the front now. He's trying to give good space to his teammate Devin Kershaw.
Yeah, good spaces. You know, it is quite crowded there, and getting away. And Kershaw, he won't be unhappy that he's in second place. And in fact, it looks slightly as if Krukov was in the lead under sufferance.
Yes, it was. I'm so pleased to see Devin Kershaw looking more sparky. He's had such problems with his ligaments in his ankle. He didn't show great form at the first couple of World Cup races.
Norway number 2 team, and that is Dahl and Paul Goldberg, who are actually in 3rd place. That team, well, it's changed already in a moment. He is still 3rd at the moment. So up front it is Krukov. And into second place goes Kershaw, just making sure he's in the right place. Sweden also close on the premises there. Theodor Pedersen, White, just about sharing what would be 3rd place on the inside.
When you look at the names, the lineup, of course, some brilliant teams here, but for me, Pedersen and Jönsson, the Swedish team, they're in 5th at the moment. They've got to be the one team that most of the other athletes are watching. We know the turn of pace that Jönsson has.
Yeah, I just wonder on this course whether he's actually going to, whether this is the sort of course where he can use that.
Yes, I agree. He's got the tempo for any climbs. It's quite a flat course, this one.
this Beastman sprint. Beastman, very much the major supporters of Nordic sport in the cross-country and ski jumping and Nordic combined divisions. And if you come from a country where you've never heard of their name, well, what they do is they provide energy, whether it's oil or gas or indeed appliances. That's their business, and they've been supporting this sport, I think, for the best part of 20 years now, and they've renewed their support right up, I think, till 2017, something like that, which is fantastic to have a sponsorship like that supporting this sport in the financial times that we now live in. But up front, it's Canada and Devon Kershaw. This, of course, is laps 3 and 4 for Kershaw.
I like the way he's that just determined look. When we see him at his best, he's just staring down the track, doesn't care about those around him. He does his own race, and that's what he's doing today.
Norway 2 in second place, Russia 1, then you've got the Norway #1 team, then Sweden in about 5th place at the moment.
Krukov in 3rd looks so relaxed. There he is. Look, just watch his body movements compared to the rest. He's taking fewer double poles, fewer strides.
I think he's in a much better position. I think he's a come-from-behind athlete. I don't think it suited him to be up there. 22, just to mention, that's Kazakhstan, Volotka and Chebotko. Well, it's Poltaranin who made the headlines for Kazakhstan in Kuzamo. And here we come now. This is the second men starting now their 3rd and 4th lap. So Alex Harvey leads out. Well, you join us just at the very moment. I think it's the Kazakh skier who's gone down there. But up front also a change, because Emil Jonsson, Mike, you were referring to him, he's come through for the first time to be up in the front ranks. And you've got Alex Harvey in there as well. Just having a look at that. Jonsson, Harvey and Russia in there. Russia in front, in fact. This is should be Batukov, or is it Morilov? It's Morilov.
It is Morilov, yeah.
It's Morilov. It's the change of Russian fortunes, and Morilov leading for Russia 2 now. Sweden, then Canada. I like the way that Canada are playing this, because they're keeping themselves out of trouble, and they're keeping themselves in 3rd place, and that means that, you know, what happens behind them, they're not involved in.
They're not involved, but I'm just wondering, David, with 7 minutes of this to run, it's going to start going ballistic. The turbos are going to go on soon.
Morilov's actually pushed it now, and remember, these are the anchor leg. These are the men who are going to ski the final 2 laps of the race here, and there's a mini break back to Norway.
You don't want to put your edges too tightly on that bend. You lose your pace.
You really want to float over that drop, don't you? And as soon as you land, you accelerate.
Yes, and the legs will be more fatigued. Of course, as you said, these are the last athletes to go.
Yeah, Morilov actually put a lot of energy in, but the breakaway didn't work because he was caught. So now it's the first men again on their last 2 laps. For them, this is rotation 5 and rotation 6, and it's team 2, and it's Gleb Retivki who goes out, thanks to the work done by Nikolai Morilov, who leads the way.
Devon Kershaw in Canada is in 5th at the moment. They got caught sleeping a little on that changeover. Normally they have been so good to that point. Lost a lot of energy by that poor changeover.
Yeah, now needs to work his way through. It's interesting, there's a number of the second teams there. 4, that is Norway 2, so that's Jon Christian Dahl, who's in 2nd place. Then you've got Sweden in that all-white strip, and so Theodor Pedersen now in the bronze medal position, so to speak. Behind him, you've got the Russians. I'll try and pick that up for you in a moment.
I think Pedersen, David, is going to try and get through, get past somehow to lead into the final handover to give his teammate Jonsson a better lineup chance.
I think that's Krukov in about 4th place. Difficult to see on the outside. And then, well, this is a key moment here for Kershaw. He needs to really pick this up now.
So difficult to get through, in fact, nigh on impossible to get through, and you have to spend so much energy going wide. It's not the best race line to go wide. So leading or second or third is tactically the best place to be.
Kershaw just struggling. He got pushed out there. Again, he was being forced to go. He's extreme right. He's just out of your picture at the moment. And it is Jon Christian Dahl who's making the moves now for Norway. On the right of your picture, that's 14. That's Nikita Krukov there. And the Kazakh who fell, well, he's not last. He is last now. He was momentarily one from last, but he's right at the back.
We've seen nothing of the Italians, David, to speak of, but up into 7th or 6th now. At last, Pacini beginning to move through.
So Norway, number 2 team, then Russia, their number 1 outfit, Russia's number 2 outfit in there as well. That's Rativki. So they're strongly placed. Then Sweden. Then you've got Norway number 1. And at the moment, Canada really struggling. Kershaw has not been able to get into this, and he's going to give Alex Harvey, if it stays like this, a monumental task.
It's a huge task, it really is. I love the work ethic of the Kazakhstan Volotka, trying so hard but taking the difficult path round, but he's moving forward.
So there it is, Norway, Russia, Sweden, Norway, Kazakhstan, and then you've got the 2 Canadian outfits who've been really taken off their feet by the Jon Christian Dahl's put so much pace into this. And on the right of your picture, team number 2, that's for Russia, and that is Rativki on the right of your picture, trying to make a bit of a name for himself. And here go the Russians, 1 and 2, Krukov chasing Rativki, moving up there, Theodor Pedersen to hand over to Emil Jonsson, and it's going to be Russia first away, last 2 laps now. And for Russia number 2 team, wearing bib 2, it's Nikolai Morilov. For Russia number 1, it's Alexei Petukov.
Couldn't be better for the Russians. They're going to try and roadblock, but they've been caught sleeping.
Yeah, and that is Jonsson for Sweden on the right, and now leading the picture, trying to make himself tall.
Intelligent, very intelligent move from Jonsson, and that's why, 2 years ago, he was the best sprinter in the world.
Erik Bransdal, who has a late push as well. There goes Krukov. Oh, and is he taking Jonsson? I couldn't see.
He has, he's taking Jonsson out.
Well, there's a Canadian out as well there. That's Alex Harvey.
Jonsson, he's got 1 pole broken. He's only got 1 ski pole left.
And I couldn't quite see what happened to Alex Harvey, but surely whatever chance the Canadians had, the world champions are out of this, because they were the ones who won it. And now you can see going to the front now, Erik Bransdal leading the figure of Petukov. Then comes Rativki, and they've got a 3-meter break on the rest.
Now there's jury members around this track at all times. We didn't really see what happened there from our angle, but I think that Petukov's ski just rode over the top of Jonsson's. It was a mistake. It wasn't deliberate. Jonsson's got another ski pole at the back. He's just going over the drop now in last place.
Oh, and look at this. This is Krukov really dishing it out. The man who won it, Petukov really dishing it out, I should say.
He is so strong. The upper body power, look at that. He's just using his body drop through the poles, trying to break the rest of the field.
And Kazakhstan, who've had a real roller coaster experience here, and they've got their man, Sherbotko, up into 3rd place. And goodness knows, I mean, it's a combination of others falling apart that have allowed them to come in. But look at this, and he's gone for home now. He's got to keep this going, Petukov. When you do this, you only have 1 chance.
You have. I think Bransdal is beginning to not give up, but it'd be taken over by the Kazakh, Shebotko.
Yeah, well, the Kazakhs said they were in for a good season. We saw Polteranin in Kusamo, and here's another piece of evidence. And Norway's number 1 team, Erik Bransdal now, the best it looks to be as if they can hope for is 3rd place.
It's not over yet. Petukov has put so much out. He's destroyed most of the rest of the best in the world. But is Bransdal lining up for an attack? In 3rd place.
It's Jabotko as well, because it's those 3 away now. But he's a big figure, isn't he? He's making himself wide. He's spreading himself over the jump for the last time. Jabotko goes 2nd. Bransdal is 3rd. Then you've got the Norwegian team, Paul Goldberg, the Norway number 2 team, who are in there. And right behind you've got Canada. I think that's Canada number 2 team, Len Valjas.
It is, and incredibly, Jonsson's coming back into it, going wide. How has he done that?
Well, that would be totally remarkable, but have a look at this, and this is Patukov running out of gas. Chibotko coming up to him. Chibotko on the right, but it is the... Oh, it's on the... Can't tell. Could not tell there. It's a photo, absolutely the worst angle in the world to make a judgment.
I tell you what, Kazakhstan, they had no luck until that final bit. You make your own luck in sports. Chibotko just forced himself to give everything. I hope they've got this win.
Now this is on the boot, so we need to see this from the side on at 90 degrees. That's the only way we'll get a clue. I think most people think that Kazakhstan have nicked it.
History being made here today if they have, David. Incredible.
Team sprint. Well, do you remember the great inspiration, Vladimir Smirnov?
Yeah, absolutely.
He was the man who inspired, and well, they think they've got it, don't they?
That was incredible. I saw one of the Russian coaches talking to Petukov. I wonder if there's been a complaint for infringement. And this was, no, that's just one of the earlier trip-ups.
Yeah, the big one was Johnson getting taken out, really, wasn't it?
Italy tried to throw a punch on the way down there.
So you can see this is when Canada were in with a shout.
And then Petukov, later Petukov comes through. Final change, this is it.
Yeah, this is the one, and it's ironical, isn't it? Because the Canadians have done little wrong. They've been in the right place almost all the way through the race.
Very unfortunate. And this is this where it happens, where Johnson goes down?
Well, that's the Kazakh going down, and would you believe it? Of all people.
What a fighting spirit to come back from that. It's quite amazing. This is the fault.
Patukov comes round. They're very... Oh, now... Well, now...
Not much you can do. Petukov, he didn't use elbows, he didn't use force, and there's Canada out of it.
I mean, it's difficult. You'd really need to see that in slow motion, because actually there was room to go around on the outside, so he was entitled to take that line.
He did ski over Jonsson's ski. I haven't seen or heard anything that there's been complaints officially. It just happens in sprint racing.
Well, this is a combination of two things here. Patukov just running out of gas, and on the right of your picture here, now have a look. I can't tell. I still can't tell. I still need to see a side on. We need a result. We've got a result. It's Kazakhstan, and well, they say 0.1, but basically that's the toe cap. They've still got it as an unofficial result. That little star next to the 1 and 2. Well, we have to wait for the official result, because although that said Kazakhstan, it indicated there might be a little inquiry.
I think so. That little star, there's something going on.
At the end of the day, my gut tells me that Kazakhstan are going to get this.
They certainly deserve it. The way they fell, they got back up.
Well, from the team sprint tomorrow, we go individually sprinting here in Quebec. Before that, those times there, by the way, are Central European time, so 1 hour earlier for those of you with us on Eurosport across the United Kingdom. And then on Sunday, we're back with the second normal hill competition, a lunchtime competition, or should we say a brunch competition for those of you with us on Eurosport in the UK. It's been an interesting afternoon, Mike, here in Quebec.
Oh, so exciting. And tomorrow it's going to be even better with the individual sprint races. It's going to be epic.
So that's what we have for you wherever you are in Eurosport land. Enjoy the rest of your evening, and we look forward to your company over the weekend. From Mike Dixon and myself, David Goldstrom, bye-bye from Quebec.
Du côté du podium, we invite the athletes that are on the podium to make their way immediately, please.